Good to see you.
You too.
Let's start, if we could, with a bio. Who's Mac D'Alessandro, and why is he running?
Mac D'Alessandro is a guy who was raised by his parents, Frank and Judy D'Alessandro, who adopted me when I was 6 weeks old.
I didn't know that.
And the values instilled in me by my parents, I think, really do form the foundation of why I'm running in this race. They taught me that if you see a wrong, you right it. If you witness an injustice, you don't stand on the sidelines and let somebody else deal with it. You get in there and fight that injustice yourself. I think there's a lot wrong in Washington, D.C. today, and I want to go to try and right some of those wrongs. I've spent my career doing this in legal services here in the Boston area, and also in the labor movement for the last 9 years. I want to take that fight to Washington, D.C. now on behalf of our community. What I want to do, but I am compelled to do this, and it's because of some of the positions that Congressman Lynch has taken on some key issues affecting our communities today. Most recently, and probably biggest, is his no vote on health care reform. I would have supported that reform because the choice was between doing nothing, which Democrats, Republicans, progressives, conservatives all agreed couldn't be sustained, and taking some small steps forward. I would have voted to take those steps forward. There's some important reforms in this legislation, despite Congressman Lynch's allegations to the contrary.
And if we can circle back just for a moment to the local. So you're in Milton. What brought you to Milton?
My wife and I love bungalows, and we found a bungalow for sale on our anniversary, as it happened several years ago. And we fell in love with the house. We fell in love with the community in Milton. We are members of the First Parish Unitarian Universalist Church in Milton. It's a great, vibrant community there. And as I said, with our daughter Sophie starting at Tucker in the fall, we're really excited to join the Tucker community. You know, I go back to the health care reform as a big piece of this. The health care reform law that Congressman Lynch voted against contained the largest health care tax cut in history for small businesses. I've talked to small business owners who said if they could have access to lower cost insurance, such as the lower cost insurance, they'll be able to get through the health care reform law, they could actually hire somebody. So we've got to look at the health care reform thing not just as health care, or health insurance, but also a jobs component. There's also a jobs component to that. Other than that, we've seen, now a lot of corporations and banks are sitting on huge cash reserves. They're not extending credit to small businesses. Right. I think that the federal government, through grants and loans through the Small Business Administration, could help to provide the influx of capital directly to small businesses. So they can start hiring and growing and getting this economy back on track. Lastly, more recently, we've seen some action. Public-private partnerships, where if private industry is willing to put up 70% of the capital, the federal government will come in with the other 30% of the capital to help invest in manufacturing for some of the alternative energy sources that we need.
Are there any